Well, I'm going to do this drone video because it seems as if doing a video about the bill is dangerous. I am vetting through that video with AI to make sure there is no, how will we say it, any violations of YouTube policies. So let's talk about the drones. For those of you who don't know where I stand on the drones, I stand on all drones in orbs at this point in time that you are seeing are from our government, from our CIA, NSA, and DARPA. Again, I don't believe that there's not extraterrestrial beings. I don't believe that there are not aliens. I believe you are being hoaxed. And every day they build this narrative higher and higher and higher. Today, we have a Chinese gentleman come out and say that drones were spotted over 17 military bases in form owned by China, and that this is China with these drones. And it's quite simple. It is your deep state. Even if it was the government of China who put the drones in the air, if you think for 1 second that the American government, who can track down individuals no matter where they are, that the neglect of them doing their duty by taking these things down makes it mean in any way, shape, or form that China is doing it. No, it's your government who's allowing it to be done. If that's the take you have on it, my take on it is it's the government. The government itself is doing it and trying to blame it on someone else, so therefore they have an opportunity to go to war. That is where I stand. And let's see what's being said.
It is communist China for many of these drones, maybe even a majority of them. You know, the increased tempo of these drone flights against our military bases is occurring at the same time as there's increased frequency of incursions and attempted incursions of these bases by Chinese and other nationals. Really, what is occurring here is that they are preparing to attack the United States.
So what you're saying is, in the context of what he's saying, so you got Chinese people attacking our military bases. We got Chinese drones in the sky over our bases. So what you're saying is, in YouTube probably, I mean, I don't even know how Fox Business News is on YouTube according to their policies. This is all speculation. I mean, this is pure and utter speculation and fear-mongering that this guy's doing. But nonetheless, so what he's telling you is you are hopeless. You are helpless. Your government cannot stop the Chinese from doing these things, period. That's what I hear.
From American soil. I don't know why we need an engraved invitation from Beijing. It's clear what's going to happen. We are going to get hit, and we're not taking the necessary precautions to protect these bases and to protect the American people.
So he's saying American bases are going to get hit, and they're not taking the necessary precautions to protect the American people. Let's see what the Pentagon is saying today, ladies and gentlemen.
To deploy to meet shifting mission requirements, whereas the core 900 deployers are on longer-term deployments. And as you know, for many of our deployments, numbers will funding and
talk about that. Somebody need to cut that out. Let's see what Dan Bongino has to say on the drones.
Something out at you right up front here. They know exactly who owns these drones and what they're doing in the sky. But they don't want to tell you for a reason. The reason is the United States government and the deep staters involved in it, they don't want to scare you with their own inadequacy. Folks, I'm telling you right now, they know who these drones belong to. We are at real risk here. Our airspace is not secure. They don't know what to do with these drones. And, you know, I said bottom line up front, so I hate teases because they're for morons. Oh, stay tuned later in the show. If you like the show, you'll stay no matter what. I'm 95% sure, if not more, it's China or some foreign adversary. Has some role in it. Could be wrong. I'm throwing it out there, and I'm basing it on a few different things.
I ain't agreeing with none of that. And unless you're saying that the American government is that incompetent that people can put things in the sky at night over the nation and nobody can do nothing about it. But let's just follow the road of what Dan Bongino says. Chinese American military base infiltration. in news. Let's see. Over the past week or 2 weeks. All right. U.S. Navy Fleet Commander, that's May. Foreign national attempting to breach U.S. bases 2-3 times a week. Undercover stories. He also confirms 2 drones fly. Whoa. This is in May. Whoa, ho, ho.
On Jennifer's reporting, Chechens, Jordanians, some of them just crossed the border. What's going on?
Well, you know, this thing of our military bases getting penetrated by foreign nationals is happening more and more. You know, this is something we see probably 2 or 3 times a week, where we're stopping these folks at the gate. With a week at least, and this is just Navy alone, where we're seeing folks try to come in, and usually the cover story is, and I'm a student, you know, I'm here, I'm an enthusiast, I want to see the ships, that type of thing. We have to turn them around, and typically we get NCIS involved with those, and we get biometrics when possible. But yes, there's been an uptick in that.
Do they have passports? Do they have?
A lot of times they have passports.
Papers?
They have papers, yes, but they're in no way, shape, or form authorized to be on our base. And it's really hard for us to tell the underlying motive for these type of cases.
Wow, that's stunning.
It is.
It's got to be a concern.
This is Russian, Chinese. It comes from all these different nations. We're seeing an uptick in it.
In addition to that, there's been.
Okay, there's supporting evidence for that. Let's see. Any other supporting evidence? That's one. This is in May. This is the same Admiral. Wagoneer, same Admiral, same Admiral. So all this is connected to this. Gain access to 2019. Let me go see. Let us see. So we got base infiltrations being spoken about in May under the Biden administration, probably. Who is this guy? Fleet Forces Commander Admiral Daryl Claude. So let's just see. Who appointed, because we need to understand. I understand what the man's saying, but who appointed Daryl Claude to Fleet Commander of the Navy? What president? Let's see when this man was. Who appointed this man to Fleet Commander? All right, so we have Joe Biden's Fleet Commander telling us that, who was appointed in 2021, that they have incursions coming on bases, going on Fox News and saying it. All right, so I'm sorry, but in my book, that don't add no credibility to you. We start talking about the deep state. I mean, that being appointed by Joe subtracts credibility from you. In my book, that's just my book. That may not be in your book. All right, we're going back to see what else we can find. It's easy to have Gronk do it. All right, so let's follow the line of thought of the ex-Secret Service agent, or the new Secret Service director. Find articles, find news of drones. No, I can't use drones. Incursions or shootings at military bases in the U.S. over the last, let's just say, 60 days. Check major sources. Let's see how many actual shootings or infiltrations we had. This is how you check to see if somebody's telling you the truth or not, man. All right, December 14th, shooting at Fort Eisenhower in Georgia. One person was killed at the shooting at Fort Eisenhower, leading to a brief lockdown. Drone incursions. I'm not worried about drones. Is there anything else? you can find from all sources. Well, I mean, if Dan Bongino is right, there should be something in the news, right? So let's just go Google.com. And let's go military base plus breach plus break-in plus 2024 plus Chinese. All right, let's see if anything comes up. All right. So in the last 8 days, same article, Chinese arrested after allegedly flying drone, taking photos of Space Force. Published December 11th. Federal investigators arrested a 39-year-old man this week after accusing him of flying a drone and taking pictures of Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. An arrest that comes amid other high-profile drone swarms at U.S. military bases. Yingpai Ho, a 39-year-old Chinese citizen and U.S. resident, was arrested Monday at San Francisco's International Airport. Prior to outbound flight to China, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California said in the news release he had most recently returned to the United States from China this past February. The office added, this is why you shouldn't be just letting people go over here and have a baby and give them citizenship. The incident occurred on November 30th after detection systems at Vandenberg noticed the drone and tracked it to a public park about an hour from the base. The base security arrived, an hour from the base, so that traveled quite a way. The base security arrived at the park, spoke with Ho, and discovered he had a drone in his jacket pocket, allegedly the same one that flew over the base. Agents later searched Ho's drone pursuant to a federal warrant search and saw several photographs of Vandenberg Space Force Base taken from an aerial point of view. Officials also said that the probe into Ho's cell phone showed a Google search roughly a month earlier for Vandenberg Space Base. He also allegedly messaged someone about hacking his drone to allow him to fly higher than it could otherwise. The defendant allegedly flew a drone over a military base and took photos of the base layout, which is against the law. Okay, so we got this guy. This is the same article. This is April 2004. April 2024. May. Investigating attempts to breach Marine Base Corps. October. Let's see what happens. Press release. Bergman, a Michigan Republican colleague, demands accountability after Chinese nationals breach U.S. bases, plural, bases. Last week, Representative Jack Bergman was joined by fellow Michigan Republican members of Congress to send a letter to the Department of Defense, Lloyd Austin, oh my goodness, and demanding answers. He says, we know that the weakness only invites aggression. And how many times? Let's see the letter. Dear Honorable Lloyd J. Austin, Secretary, U.S. Department of Defense, 1000 Defense Pentagon, Washington, D.C. We are writing to request information on the actions the Department of Defense has taken to address recent incidents of unauthorized access by Chinese nationals to U.S. military installments and other sensitive sites. On October 2nd, 2024, federal prosecutors charged 5 Chinese nationals with crimes in connection to trespassing on Camp Grayling training facility in August 2023 during Northern Strike 1 of DoD's largest reserve component readiness exercises. While this security breach certainly raises concerns about our adversaries' capacity for espionage on U.S. soil, it is by no means an isolated incident. In recent years, Chinese nationals have been found trespassing at military installations and other sensitive sites across the U.S., including a naval station in Florida, a shipyard in Virginia, a Marine Corps base in California, and an Arctic warfare training base in Alaska. The alarming rise in such breaches suggests coordinated effort by the Chinese Communist Party to gauge the security of sites critical to United States security, potentially in anticipation for an attack from within the homeland. This concerning possibility is further amplified by the recent uptick in U.S. Border Patrol encounters with Chinese nationalists attempting to illegally enter the U.S. via the southern border. These, along with other incidents, may underscore the need for the Department of Defense to renew its current security protocols and assess whether additional measures can be implemented to prevent future breaches. Blah, 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 sincerely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after running down that rabbit hole, I must admit I have to change my mind. I'm going to have to say that there may be something to these Chinese. It might be something to Zhong Ho, Sheng Vo Hum Bei Ha Ha Fo Hum. It may be something to them actually doing something on American soil. So now that we've gotten to that point, it may be, possibly, could be. Let's go back and let's look at it from that perspective. All right, let's go back. We'll look at my videos on it. Yesterday's bill versus today's bill. Damn, Elon. This shows how much your voice matters. And having a president like real Donald Trump means that your voice is finally heard. Look at that bill, man. Damn, Elon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They put a whooping on somebody. All right. I might not even take the risk of talking about the bill. What was I trying to do? Explore. All right, let's see. Chinese on military base. The hell is that? It's military. I don't know what the hell that is. Wow.
This is Chairman Gallagher of this committee. He basically says that they want information from the Department of Defense and the FBI, and they say that it is likely CCP agents have intruded or tried to access U.S. military bases and other sensitive locations 100 times in recent years. Alleged CCP spies were caught scuba diving near launch sites, invading U.S. Army test ranges, flying drones over sensitive sites, trying to enter military bases illegally. High-profile CCP espionage operations include the Chinese spy balloon and penetration of the Commerce Secretary Raimondo's email account. So the action that he wants is to better understand how the Pentagon and the FBI will stop the CCP from penetrating U.S. bases. The Select Committee requests that Secretary Austin, that's the Defense Secretary, and FBI Director Wray provide a classified briefing as soon as possible. All documents pertaining to the Pentagon's recent base security reviews. So clearly this Select Committee is taking it very serious, Nicole, but 100 times. So I've heard about, and we've talked about it, the infiltration of the Chinese on these spy bases. I didn't know it was upwards of 100 times.
Well, wouldn't we
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy.
expect to hear this kind of story or news from the DoD and FBI? I mean, their job is to protect America from foreign threats, and they should be the first one to tell American people. But unfortunately, we didn't hear anything from the DoD or FBI's press conference. We heard from the Select Subcommittee on the CCP. So kudos to Mike Gallagher and all the members of this great committee. They've done many great job on behalf of the FBI or DoD. I mean, I'm not surprised at all by more than 100 times attempts by the CCP agents trying to access the U.S. military installation, because America has done nothing to hold the CCP accountable for the previous attempts. I mean, what have we done to hold the CCP accountable for flying the spy balloon over the U.S. continents? And it only got shot down after they complete their job sending the intel back to Beijing. I mean, what have we done to hold the CCP accountable for purchasing America's farmland near military installation? Nothing. So our enemy is not dumb. I mean, they're testing the water. If we didn't do anything about their previous attempts, they'll just acting more aggressively. So I think this is like an open invitation for foreign adversaries to invade this country, which is very tragic.
Wow. So there may be something to what my man was saying. Yeah. There may be something to what my man Don Bongino is saying. So I retract what I said about Don, and we will do some more digging into this later. If you want to, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this, guys. If you want to see the video about the bill, the actual bill and the pandemic portions of the bill, see this right here where it says Dark Waters 808? See that right there? See where it says Dark Waters 808? Right there. Go on over to that, at Dark Waters 808, and the video is posted there. I think the safer bet is for me to do that than to play around with Mama YouTube, because sometimes she just acts funny. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have no time to be playing with her like that. Not over no bill that ain't about to get passed anyway. Now, I would like to see what's in the new version of the bill, to see what kind of pork is there. I'll tell you, I like the concept of the AI reading through the bill, because when you were looking for opportunities to make money back in the day, and like a bill came through the Louisiana legislature, you would have to sit there and physically read it with a highlighter to find something. Now you can just run a bill through, see whatever you want to see. I'm going to tell you like this. This is probably the greatest time in the history for somebody to make them some money. I mean, you can download an RFP, massive RFP, scan through it, figure out what they want, figure out if you can do it like that, and then get an AI to advise you as to how to get it done. I mean, it's a great time to live if you know what to look at and what to do, man. It's a phenomenal time period. Deuces, bruh.